Hello students, welcome to Eduscription. Here we are going to perform the experiment to determine the value of Stephen-Boltzmann constant for a radiative heat transfer mode. Now as we know that the theoretical value of Stephen-Boltzmann constant sigma is equals to 5.67 into 10 to the power minus 8 watt per meter square Kelvin to the power 4, and here our objective is to find out the practical or observational value of a sigma, that means a Stephen-Boltzmann constant for a radiative heat transfer mode. Now condition is that how are you going to find a radiative heat transfer mode? Here to find a radiative heat transfer mode, we do have a flanged copper hemisphere that is used over a insulated flat dish and heating tank and a reservoir to store the heated water, and there is a copper specimen over which the experiment is going to be performed, that is going to be inserted in the groove that is in the flat plate actually. So in the test rig, what will we see? Very fast, this is the heating tank. Inside the heating tank the water is poured, and to heat the water heater is there, and when we will heat the water and allow it to flow to the chamber, that means to the flanged hemispheric chamber. So this is the insulation that is provided over the hemispheric flanged hemispheric copper plate to transfer the heat. And second thing is that the specimen, the copper specimen is placed here, that is referred as the copper dish, and that is going to be inserted through this groove. And to measure the temperature of hemispheric flange, there are two thermocouples are attached at point 1 and point 2. The corresponding temperature is a T1 and T2. Similarly, to measure the temperature of the copper dish, another thermocouple is attached over here. So the corresponding temperature is a T3. So that is going to be observed, or that is going to be represented by this temperature indicator. At position 1 it will show the temperature T1, at point 2 it will show the temperature T2, point 3 it will show the temperature T3, that is of the specimen temperature, that means this thermocouple shows the temperature T3, and T4 is T4 means this thermocouple, or this will represent the temperature of the heating chamber or the heated water. So now moving to the specification part, the dish that is involved, or the specimen dish that is involved here, the diameter of that dish D is equal to 20 millimeter. That means the diameter of this dish is a 20 millimeter. This copper dish is a 20 millimeter, and the thickness of the dish T is equal to 1.5 millimeter. Mass of that dish is equals to 6.8 gram. And the inner diameter of the hemisphere, the copper hemisphere, that is equal to 200 millimeter, and the specific heat of the specimen is 381 joule per kg Kelvin. Now condition is that what happened in this case actually, when the heated water, or when we allow the heated water to flow inside the chamber and it will be placed upon the flanged copper, the heat is getting absorbed in the copper hemisphere, and then it is getting radiated from the heat is getting radiated from the hemisphere, and it is absorbed by the copper dish, and the amount of the heat that is emitted from the copper dish will be that is due to the absorption of heat from the hemisphere, copper hemisphere actually. Now thing is that as per the Stephen-Boltzmann constant law, E is equals to sigma into T to the power 4. So moving to the hemisphere cases, the amount of heat that is radiated from the hemisphere, EH is equal to sigma into TH to the power 4. What is the TH then? TH is equal to the average temperature of this hemisphere, that means T1 plus T2 divided by 2. So what is the ED actually? ED means it is the radiated heat energy from the copper dish. So the amount, now thing is that the heat is radiated from the hemisphere from the hemisphere some heat is getting radiated, and that heat is getting accepted by the copper disc actually. So some of the heat also emitted from the copper disc. So what will be the amount of heat that is absorbed in the copper disc actually? The amount of heat that is radiated from the hemisphere minus the amount of heat that is radiated in the copper disc. So total heat absorbed in the copper disc E is equal to EH minus ED. So EH minus ED. So that will be equals to sigma into TH to the power 4 minus TD to the power 4. And thing is that, as you know, that heat capacity of a substance is equal to mCp into dT by dt. So dt, what is the dt by dt? It is the rate of the temperature, rate of change of temperature with respect to time. So dt means it is the change of temperature, and d small t means it is the change of time actually. So now equating both, E is equals to Q. So what will happen? Sigma into TH to the power 4 minus TD to the power 4 is equal to mCp into dt by dt. Now Cp value that we know, m value that we know, dt by dt, d capital T by d small t, that is going to be found out from the observation, and TH to the power 4 minus TD to the power 4, that is also going to be found out from the observation. So sigma will be equals to mCp into capital dt by d small t divided by Th to the power 4 minus Td to the power 4. Before taking the observation, the very much important point is that when we allow the hot water to flow and to be poured over the hemispheric planes, copper planes, so condition is that it should attain the equilibrium condition. So for that we have to wait for a while to maintain the equilibrium condition of the hot water over the hemispheric flanged copper. And thing is, so T1 and T2, or to mark the T1 and T2 temperature and T3 as well as the T4 temperatures, there is a table to note it in degree Celsius and degree Kelvin. So thermocouple number 1 is thermocouple number 1 and 2 both are the temperature of the hemisphere. Thermocouple number 3 is the temperature of the specimen, and thermocouple number 4 is the temperature of the heating tank actually. Now moving to next cases, whenever we will perform the experiment, at that time we have to insert the specimen inside the groove actually. When we will insert the when we will insert the specimen inside the groove, after that we have to wait for some while, and in a specific time interval we have to record the temperature increase value in this table, so that the table represents the temperature versus a time table actually. That means in every 10-second interval, what will be the range of temperature actually? What will be the raised temperature actually? Suppose it will be 30, then after 10 second it will be 40, after 10 second it will be 45, after another 10 second it will be 47, like that we have to record it. And moving to next cases, here in this formula, in the denominator part AD is there. It is because previously the formula was representing the emissive power per unit area actually, but here to find out the total area of the specimen area is equals to pi by 4 into d square. That means d is the diameter of the specimen, that means copper disc. So d value is equals to 20 mm, d value was 20 mm, so that is why d will be 0.02 meter square in meter square. So that will be the value actually. To allow the hot water to flow over the hemispheric planes, we have to open this knob, so that the hot water will flow from the heating tank to the hemispheric planes. And after that we have to insert this test specimen in this groove. After inserting it, now we have to attain some time to attain the equilibrium condition, and after attaining the equilibrium condition, or after waiting for 5 minutes or 10 minutes to attain the equilibrium condition, we have to record the temperatures in this table actually. So the corresponding temperature of T1 will be likewise and T1 will be here, and T3 will be the temperature of the specimen. And to record the T3 temperature over this table, which varies according to the time, or the time interval is 10 seconds. So we have to use the stopwatch. After every 10 seconds we have to record the T3 temperature value over here. After taking the observation, these are the values for the thermocouple 1, 2 and 3. So in degree Celsius as well as in degree Kelvin, and these are the values of T3 with the variation of each time interval 10 second. So after 10 second this is the 32.7, 20 second 33.2. So likewise it will go till the value of temperature it is not getting similar. That means at the end you can see this is 37.9 for 200 second, and 210 second this is also 37.9. So when the value will repeat, then at that time we will stop. And to find out the dt by dt value, that means to find out the slope, that means d capital T by d small t, we have to choose that region where the where the change of temperature is uniform with respect to time. So here we can see at 120 second the value is 36.4, then 130 second that is 36.2, 36.8, then 37.0, 37.2, 37.4, 37.6. That means each time interval of 10 second the value increases of 0.2. So that now this region from 120 second to 180 second will be taken to find out this dt by dt or slope of the curve actually. Now 37.6 is the value of value corresponding to 180 second, and 36.4 the value corresponding to 120. So divided by 180 second minus 120 second, the value will be 0.02 is the dt by dt value, d capital T by d small t value. As you know that m is equal to 6.8 gram, that means 6.8 into 10 to the power minus 3 kg. So Cp value is equal to 381 joule per kg Kelvin, and Th means hemispheric average temperature value is equal to T1 plus T2 divided by 2. So in Kelvin that value will be 346.35 Kelvin, and Td is equals to, that means D's temperature or specimen temperature is equal to T3 starting value plus T3 ending value divided by 2. So T3 starting value is equal to 33.7, that means 304.7 Kelvin, and the ending value is 37.9, that value is equal to 310.9 actually. So the value of Td will be equal to 307.8 Kelvin actually. Now putting all these value in the formula, sigma is equal to 6.8 into 10 to the power minus 3 into 381 into 0.02 whole divided by 0.000314, that stands for the area actually. Area is equal to 0.000314 meter square into 346.35 to the power 4 minus 307.8 to the power 4 will be equals to 3.048 into 10 to the power minus 8 watt per meter square Kelvin to the power 4. Originally the theoretical value of sigma was 5.67 into 10 to the power minus 8. Now practically or from the observation we got it 3.048 into 10 to the power minus 8 watt per meter square Kelvin to the power 4. So the conclusion part is that here we have done the experiment perfectly, but as there is some losses, heat losses will be in the system, so the value will not get the same as that of your 5.67 into 10 to the power minus 8, but it will be nearly equal considering the error also. Thank you.